Hi everyone, it's me again. I'm trying to knock out as many vlogs tonight as I can because like I mentioned, I just don't have time a lot. It's just so hard. So like I figured, you know what, I'm going to pull through and make as many vlogs as I can tonight. The point of this vlog is going to be about the phone interview, which is big. I can't believe I'm trying to tackle this right now, this late at night. But I'm going to do it because it's such an important part of the process. And I feel like it's for everyone. This is why you're on. This is why you're even looking at vlogs in general. It's because you're looking for vlogs like this one about the phone interview. So let's stop talking about that and start talking about the phone interview. Alright, so I scheduled mine after my web-based interview, which I talked about in the last vlog, and I scheduled mine for September 17th at 8:30 a.m. That's right, you heard a.m. Mainly because I had work at 10 a.m. and I wanted to be done way before then, and because I didn't want to like think about it all day. I just wanted to get it over with, wake up, prepared, and get it done with, which I'm glad I did. I really am glad I did that. So here's a little snippet from that morning.
Hello, it is almost pretty much 8 o'clock right now. I have an interview was supposed to be set to 8:30, so it's very soon. The closer and closer I get to this, the more nervous I get. I mean, I have my notes right here and my note to myself to smile and all this stuff. I always see my computer too. I'm trying to listen to Disney music and calm down, but I'm just really nervous because I really want this. Like, I just gotta remind myself, I know I'm good for this. I know that this program was made for someone like me. So, wait 1 minute. It's 8:29. Here we go. Hello? Hello. Bye. I'm done!
Okay, I know I don't look great in that video because it was 8:30 a.m. I was in my pajamas and my hair is all, I mean, it doesn't look terribly too different than it is today just because it's up. But excusing the fact that I wasn't glamorous, that was the video of, that morning for me. I don't know, I might regret releasing that not so glamorous view of myself. I don't know. None of us look particularly glamorous in the morning, I guess. Anyway, back to helping you with your phone interview. Once again, under my vlog here, I should have a link to a document. You know how I love my documents. Just because they're much easier to share for some people than full-on videos or anything. So, once again, document under my vlog here. Click the link to it. It will give you pretty much the written down, brief rundown of everything. I'm just going to go over quickly here. The document will include all the questions I used to prepare for the interview. I won't say them all here because that's what that link there is for. And most of the vlogs you probably have already watched about the phone interview, they gave you great advice. They're the same vlogs I used to create these set of questions and everything. So as long as you're doing all that, you're set, really. And, if you go on my document, I have questions that are red that I'm going to talk about here real quick. And if they're underlined, it's the questions I was asked. I really just look at my document. It'll make sense with this video. But the ones in red that I just really want to discuss quickly, the ones that you really need to prepare. If you are not going to look at the document just because you're lazy or whatever, okay, I can't make you. But I will say this. To prepare for this interview, to have a successful interview at all, please have the following questions prepared to answer. First one being, why do you want to do the Disney College program? That question is going to set you apart from everyone else. It's going to give you, your interviewer, a chance to see your motives for doing the program and hopefully just a bit of who you are. I know I just talked about how much I loved working for the company with the Disney store near where I live, and how much I've wanted to work for this company for years, and I want to have a career in this company, and the Disney College program would allow me to make so many connections and all that stuff. So I just really went on about that for a little bit, and that was my answer. The next question, too, that you really need to know, your top roles, their responsibilities. If you don't know a whole lot about the roles, go to a previous vlog of mine that talks about, it has role descriptions in the title. That vlog also includes a link to a document with all the roles and descriptions if you can't find them. Know what your roles are about. So when they ask about your top 3 roles and why'd you pick them, be able to really talk about why you chose them and why you feel like past experience will help you with it, and what park or ride or whatever would you want to work at or in or whatever if you were to choose that role, so on and so forth. By the end of it, she's like, no, you're giving me you're answering all my questions before I have to answer them. So that shows that you're prepared if you do that. So I suggest doing that. I suggest just being on top of that question, really, about what your roles are and why'd you pick them. Just fill in all the stuff about those roles that you have prepared. I super suggest you go down to the document below my blog to look at all the other questions that, if I underline them, she asked me. Oh, so tired. Other general advice is listen to Disney music beforehand or do something that makes you happy, because I was so nervous, as you could kind of see, and it really helped to do something fun and relaxing beforehand. Slow down. Don't talk too fast or say and like. I have a big problem with that in general, so that was a struggle, but I tried to practice that. Smile, because it makes you sound cheerful and happy and excited. It just makes such a difference. Please smile. Take notes during your interview, too. Sometimes they'll say, it happened to me. She'll say, oh, you can talk to your leaders about this. And so later on I put leaders ? And then when it came time to ask questions, I'm like, who are my leaders and when will I meet them? So it's things like that where sometimes, in asking and you answering and all that stuff, they might say something where oh, I don't know what that is, or I'd like to ask about that. So just write a little note to yourself to ask that at the end when they ask you if there's any questions you have. And my next one is to ask questions at the end. It's actually just a very good phone interview tip in general, because it gives you a chance to show your interview that you did research about the Disney College program and that you really care. If you have no idea what to ask questions about classes that they might recommend for you to take while you're down there and how you can register and everything. Ask questions about what kind of professional connections you can make during the program. I asked that kind of question, and she was able to give me good answers. And you can even ask, like I did at the end, who's your favorite character? And she told me Mickey Mouse and Tinkerbell, and it was very cute. So don't hurt to kind of lighten that at the end, too, to ask a question just about them, Write down your interviewer's name. It was the first thing I did as soon as she said what her name was Trisha. My interviewer's name was Trisha. She was very sweet. But to write down an interviewer's name and try to use it every once in a while, because it shows that, hey, I paid attention to what your name is, I care, and I'm having a conversation, And then make sure once you ask your questions and everything, write down the information that they give you, because trust me, you'll be so kind of whizzed out by the interview, at least, okay, maybe I was, that if I had just tried to listen and like hold on to their answers, I probably wouldn't have remembered what they said. So I like was writing down what they were saying while they were saying it. Other things, keep a water bottle handy. It helped me because you talk a lot and your throat gets dry and everything. If you're a Disney nerd, tell them, be enthusiastic. They love it, but don't sound crazy. You could be the biggest Disney nerd on the planet, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be hired because, I mean, if you think about it, most people who are applying for Disney, whether it's in the internship, whether it's in the DCP or at the store or wherever, they usually like Disney a lot. So that doesn't necessarily set you apart from everyone else, but that's okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is be enthusiastic and tell them if you're a really big Disney nerd, but understand that by saying that won't necessarily set you apart. And I heard from one of the vlogs that possibly have a calculator handy. In the past, sometimes they've asked money questions if you're interested in doing something that would require, obviously, handling money and stuff. I had a calculator. Of course, I wasn't asked any questions like that, but it doesn't hurt. It's just one of those things that's good to have kind of right there where you're trying to do your thing, where you're trying to do your interview. So, have a calculator. Those are all the basic things. Oh, and just like, obvious advice would be find a quiet space, have plenty of time. They're very, very punctual. Mine was like at 8:32 or something. It was very close to my 8:30 time slot. And it took about 28 minutes for my interview. So it's pretty long. It's kind of longer than maybe some people's, but I also had a lot to talk about. So make sure you're ready 15 minutes before. And if they don't call right on time, don't freak out. Just wait like another 15 minutes or so. Now, I have heard some stories where like they don't call, like they don't even call. I would wait at least an hour before you start freaking out. If like a really long time passes by, call a number. Sometimes things have happened in the past where it's kind of wigged out, but I wouldn't. But don't worry, just because they're a couple minutes late does not mean that they've forgotten you. I think the only time you should really make a huge concern about it is if you really have waited for like an hour or something. It shouldn't happen, but in case it does, that's what you should do. And don't worry, if something happened like that, they would definitely reschedule with you, and it'll be all right. It doesn't mean the end of the world. So I really do think that's everything. I hope I'm not making this sound really stressful or scary because my interviewer is so sweet and she was so kind and really kind of put me at ease. But I will say this, that several times she commented on how obvious it was that I had prepared and how she didn't even need to ask a lot of questions because I just answered them by being prepared. So please look at the document below my blog here and please be prepared because if you do, it will show and it will look very good. Just a little hint, I did get accepted a couple of days ago. And I'm really, really happy about it. I did get attractions, which was my first choice. I'll talk about that in the next vlog briefly. But know that all this advice really, really helped me, and I hope it helps you. Best wishes for all of you who are about to have a phone interview and you're preparing yourself. I hope you get it. I'm so excited. And I hope you guys all have a magical day.